trial, the city of Atlanta has now targeted Lil Baby, and the accusations are deadly. Atlanta is back on its bullshit. After the complete failure that was the YSL trial.
Check me good. You on the camera? I got a gun in my nut. Check me good. I got a gun. Alright, y'all let me in that car. Shoot myself dead. Y'all fired.
In the unforgiving world of hip-hop, where loyalty is sacred and betrayal is the deadliest sin, trust can be built over a lifetime and shattered in a single moment. Today, the entire music industry finds itself reeling from a betrayal so shocking, so raw, that it threatens to rewrite the legacy of two of rap's biggest icons. Lil Baby, one of Atlanta's proudest sons, now stands accused not just by the courts, but by a man he once called his brother, Lil Durk. What began as whispers of an investigation into Lil Baby's powerhouse label, 4PF, has erupted into a full-scale courtroom spectacle, exposing tensions, secrets, and heartbreak that no track could ever capture. And if the rumors are true, Lil Baby isn't just defending his name, he's fighting back with a vengeance, unleashing fury on Lil Durk in a confrontation so explosive that even seasoned courtroom officials were left stunned. Lil Baby, born Dominique Armani Jones, is more than just a rapper. He's a symbol, a self-made king who rose from the
Atlanta is back on its bullshit. After the complete failure that was the YSL trial, the city of Atlanta has now targeted Lil Baby, and the accusations are deadly. The Atlanta Police Homicide Commander would go as far as blaming Lil Baby for the double murder of two teens and connect him to a long, bloody series of violent events. So in this video, we'll be covering the Lil Baby 4PF RICO that never happened. May 14, 2024, 30-year-old Dominique Jones, who's more commonly known as Atlanta's own superstar rapper Lil Baby, was set to shoot a music video. The location? Dixie Hills. This was Zone 1, West Atlanta, at the very beginning of the old Hidden Village apartments. A mostly abandoned, half-torn down apartment complex with a violent history that
unforgiving streets of Atlanta to the towering heights of hip-hop royalty. His breakout projects Harder Than Ever and My Turn didn't just sell records, they inspired a generation. His label, PF, Four Pockets Full, became a movement, a declaration that success could be carved out of struggle without selling your soul. But with power comes scrutiny, and in early 2025, that scrutiny sharpened into a blade. Federal prosecutors launched a sweeping RICO investigation, alleging that 4PF was more than just a music empire, hinting at organized crime, gang affiliations, and acts of violence linked to members of Baby's circle. At first, Lil Baby brushed it off with characteristic cool. In a defiant interview with DJ Ski, he laid it all bare. "I ain't no gangster," he said. "I'm a businessman. I built something real, something they can't control, and now they want to tear it down." But behind closed doors, the pressure was building. Wiretaps, sealed testimonies, confidential informants. The walls were closing in.
I'm not sure, all right, because Jay Shad is still alive and well. Maybe they were plotting on Jay Shad, but nonetheless, though, they have those messages. Now, they also have a wiretap of them having a conversation. Now, on that wiretap, though, one of them actually implicated Lil Baby and said they feel like Lil Baby got money on their heads.
Sanders, the wiretap target, an unidentified gentleman that goes by the name Unk, or he's being referred to as Unk.
I'm gonna object to this slide again.
Then came the betrayal no one saw coming. Lil Durk, the Chicago-born titan who shared stages, songs, and struggles with Lil Baby, reportedly made a deal, facing pressures of his own. Legal battles, family threats, the weight of his past. Durk stepped into the witness box and spoke. Sources inside the courtroom described the moment as chilling, when Durk confirmed his cooperation, detailing conversations, lyrics, and disputes that could link Lil Baby's label to criminal activity. The air was ripped out of the room. Lil Baby, unable to contain the fury boiling inside him, stood up, eyes blazing, voice cutting through the silence. Like a blade, he unleashed years of anger and heartbreak. "You talking about loyalty?" Baby shouted, his voice echoing through the chamber. "You the same dude that jumped on my track, but ghosted me when it mattered. You really gonna sit there and act brand new?" Court security moved in, but the damage was already done. Of the courtroom clash spread like wildfire across social media, igniting debates that divided.
It is.
And that's So that was Martavius Smith sent that to Mr. Sanders.
He did.
All right, now, what was significant about that to you?
I knew that Jay Shot was, or John Smith was a close associate of the leader of 4PF, Dominique Lil Baby Jones.
And 4PF, as you testified already, was a gang that you recognized as being in a rivalry with the Goodfellas, and in particular the Only My Family subset of the Goodfellas.
And their associates, yes.
Fans, artists, and industry veterans alike. Some say Durk had no choice, that subpoenas and secret deals forced his hand. Others say no pressure could justify turning on family either way. The fallout has been seismic. What makes this betrayal even more gut-wrenching is the history between these two giants. Lil Baby and Lil Durk weren't just collaborators, they were a dynasty in the making. Their joint album, The Voice of the Heroes, crowned them kings of a new era. Their bond was public, personal, and, so it seemed, unbreakable, until now. Speaking after the hearing, Lil Baby pulled no punches. This bigger than me, they scared of what we built. A movement they couldn't tame. They use the system to paint us as monsters, cause they can't beat us any other way. The echoes of Baby's words mirror a broader tension simmering in hip-hop. The growing belief that the system is weaponizing the law against rap's brightest stars. From Young Thug and the YSL case to the RICO probes sweeping through cities like Atlanta and Chicago.
Search by the FBI after the Bureau executed federal search warrants in California, Las Vegas, and Arizona.
The warrants were made in connection to investigations around, quote, allegations of criminal.
Many see a pattern, one aimed at silencing cultural movements that refuse to play by the old rules. And now with Lil Baby in the crosshairs and Lil Durk branded either as a survivor or a traitor, depending on who you ask, the stakes have never been higher. As the investigation deepens, critical questions hang heavy in the air. Will Lil Baby be formally indicted? Will 4PF survive if its leader falls? Can Lil Durk ever repair the damage done to his reputation? Or has he forever crossed a line that can't be uncrossed? Some insiders whisper that Baby is gearing up for the fight of his life, not just in court, but in the court of public opinion. Rumors swirl about new music already being written, tracks aimed directly at those who betrayed him, songs forged in the fires of anger, loyalty, and loss. Meanwhile, PF's artists, some scared, some defiant, wait to see if the empire they helped build will collapse or rise stronger from the ashes. In the streets, in the studios, and in the soul of the—
They raided the Phoenix facility in hazmat suits as part of a multi-state investigation into the illegal trafficking and sale of human body parts. But for the first time, we're now able to see the testimony from one of the FBI agents who conducted the raid, and what he recounts is shocking.
Culture, this battle is bigger than legal briefs and headlines. It's a war for ownership, identity, and survival. And if you think this story is wild already, you haven't seen anything yet. Subscribe and stay locked in, because the next chapter in this saga will change hip-hop forever. Get ready, the story you thought you knew is about to be rewritten. We're diving deep into the history between two giants, two powerhouses who have shaped the sound of a generation. You've seen the headlines, you've heard the tracks that shook the charts, but the real story, the one with twists and turns you never saw coming, is about to unfold. This isn't just music history. This is a saga of ambition, collaboration, and the kind of raw reality that plays out far beyond the studio booth. Prepare for a journey that will make you question everything. Now, let's get straight to the heart of the matter and address the intense discussions and rumors that have been circulating. There has been significant online chatter recently suggesting a dramatic turn in the relationship between Lil Baby.
Why file this right now? Let's just start there, the timing of it.
Jesse, great to be on as always, and I guess better late than never when it comes to the Department of Justice. But really, 1 month before trial is
Baby and Lil Durk, with some reports even speculating about betrayals and legal proceedings where one might be cooperating against the other. It's absolutely vital to confront these claims head on and provide clarity based on the available credible information, based on all verifiable news sources, official statements, and reliable reports. There is currently no evidence to support the notion of a current betrayal between Lil Baby and Lil Durk, nor are there any credible indications that Lil Durk is cooperating against Lil Baby in any legal matter. The dramatic scenario scenarios being discussed online appear to be unfounded rumors and speculation. It is crucial to distinguish between online gossip and factual reporting, especially when dealing with the reputations and legal situations of individuals. Court proceedings and legal cooperation are serious matters that would be widely reported by legitimate news organizations if they were occurring between two such prominent figures. The absence of any credible reports confirming these rumors is a strong indicator that they are not true. Therefore, while
he was convicted on his charges, he's not facing light time. He's facing life in prison. Now, last time I reported on this story, we had little info about the man he's accused of murdering beyond that he was an aspiring rap artist signed to his label.
The idea of a dramatic betrayal between these two artists might create significant online hype and generate sensational narratives. It is not a reality we can base an extensive factual account upon. My purpose is to provide accurate information, and fabricating a story about a non-existent conflict or legal situation would go against that principle. However, what is absolutely real and well documented is the history of the relationship between Lil Baby and Lil Durk. Their paths have intersected many times over the years, resulting in significant musical collaborations and public interactions that have left a lasting impact on the hip-hop landscape. Their story is one of mutual respect, shared success, and a bond forged in the challenging environment of the music industry. Their collaborative history is extensive and highly impactful. Think back to the energy they brought together on tracks that became anthems. Songs like Three-Headed Goat featuring Gunna became massive hits, dominating airwaves and streaming platforms. That track wasn't just a collaboration. It felt like a statement, bringing together
but I don't want to do that right now. I want to get right into this. I want to bring on Elizabeth Milner, law and crimes reporter, who is in that courtroom for another
three powerful voices in a way that amplified their individual strengths. The chemistry was undeniable, and the track resonated deeply with fans, showcasing a synergy that promised more to come. Beyond individual tracks, their creative partnership culminated in a full-length project, the collaborative album The Voice of the Heroes, released in 2021. This album was a major moment for both artists and their fans. It wasn't just a collection of songs. It was presented as a joint statement, an expression of their shared experiences and perspectives. The title itself, The Voice of the Heroes, suggested a narrative of overcoming adversity and representing their communities. The album featured production from some of the industry's top names and saw both artists delivering powerful verses that explored themes of street life, success, loyalty, and the pressures that come with fame. Tracks from the album were widely successful, further solidifying their standing as major forces in the industry and demonstrating the effectiveness of their partnership. The release of The Voice of the Heroes was accompanied by significant...
If they're about to play the call, but her conclusions and her interpretation is not the evidence.
Well, I think she was just identifying who was on the call, so I'm going to overrule. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, what's up? Oh, what's going on? Man, them folks, like, come on, bro, you know what's finna go on. Like, how the hell you can, you know what I'm saying? They ain't even like that, man. Them folks got tickets on a lot of these folks, I'm telling you.
We just heard somebody say these folks got tickets on these people. We know what's going on. First of all, who was that said that about the tickets?
Unc, the unidentified male that was being referred to as Unc.
And he's speaking with Mr. Sanders.
Correct.
And what, in your experience, do you know what tickets are?
A price on somebody's head.
What do you mean by, what do you mean on somebody's head? What is that?
Like a bounty.
Okay. To have them arrested?
Harmed or killed.
And who were they referring to in that portion of the call?
They were saying that they had heard that Dominique Jones.
Significant promotion and public appearances together. They participated in interviews, appeared on television shows, and performed together, always projecting an image of unity and mutual support. These moments were key in shaping the public's perception of their relationship as close collaborators and friends who had each other's backs. Seeing them together, celebrating their success, and the impact of their joint work reinforced the narrative of a strong bond built through shared experiences and artistic vision. Their public support for one another wasn't limited to their musical projects. Over the years, there have been numerous instances where they have publicly shown support for each other, whether through social media posts, mentions in interviews, or appearances at each other's events. These gestures, seemingly small in isolation, collectively painted a picture of a relationship built on loyalty and respect within a competitive industry. They would often speak highly of each other's work, acknowledge each other's grind, and celebrate each other's achievements. This consistent public backing amplified the perception of their bond.
We're supposed to be a statistic, right? You think the feds, DEA, IRS, FBI, everybody's fucking watching, bro. Everybody's fucking watching. I realized this because, let me tell you, we used to go to clubs, bro. I remember one time I went to a club. I had nothing on me, right? I was like, I don't want to get searched.
And made their collaborations feel even more authentic and meaningful to their fan bases. For example, consider moments when one artist might have been going through a challenging time, either personally or professionally, public messages of support from the other. Even a simple shout out or a few words of encouragement would resonate strongly with fans in the industry, demonstrating that their connection went beyond just making music together. These acts of solidarity are significant in an industry often characterized by competition and fleeting alliances. They showed a deeper level of connection and suggested a foundation of genuine friendship. The fan reaction to their collaborations and apparent closeness has always been overwhelmingly positive. Fans celebrated their joint tracks and the Voice of the Heroes album with immense enthusiasm. Social media platforms were flooded with positive comments expressing excitement about their chemistry and the power of their combined artistry. This positive reception from fans further cemented their status as a dynamic duo in the eyes of the public. This history of strong collaboration.
You know what's crazy also, and this news just broke today, and once again, innocent until proven guilty, but they're saying that the new target of the DA in Atlanta is actually Lil Baby and 4 Pockets Full. And there was a clip that's circulating.
Vlad, what do you, if you got black dudes, right? Black niggas with money, right? And we in the neighborhood, right? We come from the bottom of the bottom. We from the neighborhood that we not.
And public support. It's understandable why any rumors of a betrayal would be met with disbelief and intense discussion among fans. The narrative of two artists rising together and supporting each other is a powerful one, and any suggestion that this bond has broken would naturally generate significant reaction and speculation. The hip-hop community, like any other, has its share of ups and downs, and the relationships between artists are often subjects of intense scrutiny and public interest. However, as stated earlier, it's crucial to reiterate that the current claims circulating about a betrayal or legal cooperation between Lil Baby and Lil Durk are not supported by credible evidence. These appear to be rumors, and it is important not to treat them as fact. The music industry, and particularly hip-hop, has unfortunately seen its share of legal challenges involving prominent artists. The YSL RICO case involving Young Thug and other members of YSL is a significant and ongoing example that has drawn considerable attention. That case involves serious charges brought
from a 4PF, and then the quote-unquote gang expert, which is like I call her vitriol, like the vixen. She's like the same bitch like from like the YSL case who like stole like Young Thug's watches. Just that weird bitch, right? So she's a quote-unquote gang expert. So her thing is she's bad as fuck, so she gets in these like entanglements with like gangbangers, draw information from them, and then like use it against them. So she knows everything that's going on. So she says that they were talking about Lil Baby and Pete, and he's the one who's like playing back. So right now, bro, like the RICO is coming for sure, because there's been a lot of murders being committed by 4PF. For example, there's another I think 4PF member, and the body cam footage shows that he got booked for a crossfire shooting that killed like a 4-year-old, right? So like there's a lot
under the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, which was originally designed to combat organized crime, but has been increasingly applied in cases involving individuals and groups within the hip-hop community. The application of the RICO Act in cases involving hip-hop artists has indeed become a controversial topic. Critics argue that prosecutors sometimes use lyrics and artistic expression as evidence of criminal activity, potentially chilling creative freedom and unfairly targeting artists based on their music and associations rather than concrete criminal acts. This raises important questions about the intersection of art, free speech, and the law. The YSL case has brought these issues to the forefront of public discussion, sparking debates about the justice system's approach to hip-hop and the potential for misinterpretation of artistic works within legal proceedings. However, it is essential to understand that the legal complexities and controversies surrounding cases like the YSL indictment are distinct from the unfounded rumors circulating about Lil Baby and Lil Durk. Drawing comparisons.
What are your thoughts about this?
Personally, I think it's bullshit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I predict if they go through with this, that this is gonna end similar to the Thug situation. From what I've gathered out of the situation, they're alleging that Lil Baby shot a music video in a rival gang's neighborhood. Out of retaliation of that rival gang then decided to go do it.
Between these situations in the context of a non-existent betrayal between Lil Baby and Lil Durk would be inaccurate and misleading. While both situations involve prominent figures in hip-hop and legal matters, the alleged circumstances are entirely different, with one being a real ongoing legal case and the other being unverified speculation. The speculation surrounding Lil Durk's motives for supposedly cooperating against Lil Baby, as seen in some online discussions, is entirely based on the false premise that such cooperation is occurring, since there is no credible information to suggest that Lil Durk is cooperating against Lil Baby. Any discussion about his potential motives or pressures in that context is purely speculative and not grounded in reality. Lil Durk's personal history and his roots in Chicago are indeed significant factors in understanding his journey as an artist and an individual. He has openly spoken about the challenges he has faced and the environment he comes from, and these experiences have undoubtedly shaped his perspective and his music. His legal history.
But the fact that they went out of their way to put 4PF there, went out of their way to identify Lil Baby as the gang leader says something. Now, I knew that 4PF was gonna get a RICO for about 2 years now, and I knew this the second I seen what happened with 4PF Nate. Now, if you guys don't know, 4PF Nate, an associate of Lil Baby's, now he got sentenced to 40 years in jail for murder. But I knew that something was up at trial of 4PF Nate. 4PF Nate on your left, Keontae Davis on your right. Them two are being accused of murdering a man who goes by the name of Jaquavius Wilson. 4PF Nate was the shooter. Keontae Davis was present. So when Keontae Davis got caught, the police actually made Keontae Davis bite the cheese, all right? Keontae Davis is in paperwork identifying
has also been a matter of public record, and navigating legal challenges can undoubtedly be a source of immense pressure for anyone. However, connecting these aspects of his life to a supposed cooperation against Lil Baby is not supported by any factual basis and would be irresponsible speculation. In conclusion, while the history of collaboration and public support between Lil Baby and Lil Durk is a real and impactful story within hip-hop, the recent online rumors about a brutal attack, a betrayal, or legal cooperation between them are not supported by any credible evidence. It's important to appreciate their genuine contributions to music and their documented positive interactions without falling for unverified and potentially harmful speculation. The power of their joint work and the positive receptions it received from fans stand as a testament to their real relationship and musical synergy. To stay informed about the actual developments in the music world and get accurate insights, make sure you hit that subscribe button on my YouTube channel. You won't want to miss the real stories and verified information.
Had tickets on a lot of people's heads.
Dominic Jones wanted to have people harmed.
Correct.
All right, moving on.
To me, this is nonsense and BS, bruh. Ops being paranoid because they are out here harming people who are close to me, being paranoid that me, the bagman, me, the rich rapper, may have some money on their heads because they're doing foul things. That's y'all proof that I'm involved in this gang war? That's y'all proof that I should be brought in for a RICO? I think it's insane, bruh, right? Now, listen, bruh. At this point, bro, we gotta stop using like Burrito the Vixen as a gang expert or as anybody credible, bruh. Like, have y'all forgotten like the YSL trial when even the judge got frustrated at Burrito because Burrito was on that stand, bruh, spewing nonsense, dodging questions, being uncredible?
Mr. Shart asked you.
And if they're about to play the call, but her conclusions and her interpretation is not the evidence.
Well, I think she was just identifying who was on the call, so I'm going to overrule. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, what's up, huh? Oh, what's going on? Man, them folks, like, come on, bro, you know what's finna go on. Like, how the hell you can, you know what I'm saying? They ain't even like that, man. Them folks got tickets on a lot of these folks, I'm telling you.
We just heard somebody say these folks got tickets on these people. We know what's going on. First of all, who was that said that about the tickets?
Unc, the unidentified male that was being referred to as Unc.
And he's speaking with Mr. Sanders.
Correct.
And what, in your experience, do you know what tickets are?
A price on somebody's head.
What do you mean by what do you mean on somebody's head? What is that?
Like a bounty.
Okay. To have them arrested?
Harmed or killed.
And who were they referring to in that portion of the call?
They were saying that they had heard that Dominique Jones.
Street location?
Yeah, one just flashed on the screen.
Okay, so we've already seen a portion of that then.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so you saw this video, and then you saw that the artist that's depicted in this video, John J. Smith, was also the person depicted in the disappearing message. And on what day was that message sent?
Sent on June 30th. I believe it was read on July 1st.
From what I've gathered, it's unclear why they sent J-Shot pictures and disappearing messages. I'm not sure, all right, because J-Shot is still alive and well. Maybe they were plotting on J-Shot, but nonetheless, though, they have those messages. Now, they also have a wiretap of them having a conversation. Now, on that wiretap, though, one of them actually implicated Lil Baby and said they feel like Lil Baby got money on their heads.
Sanders, the wiretap target, an unidentified gentleman that goes by the name Unk, or he's being referred to as Unk.
I'm going to object to this slide again.
The Instagram page belonged to Keontae Sanders, also known as Midnight.
Okay. And while looking at that page, you found some direct message communications, one of which showed a disappearing message between Mr. Sanders and somebody named Mr. Smith.
Once I received his Instagram returns back, yes.
Okay, and that, what did that message consist of?
It was a photo that Mr. Smith had taken of himself, but had put the word J-Shot across it and sent it in the disappearing message mode.
Just a brief interruption. Being a criminal is so difficult, bruh. And I hope all you criminals and street dudes is listening, bruh. She just said that they recovered the messages that was sent in disappearing mode. Y'all be thinking that things like Snapchat and Instagram disappearing mode, those things are Fed proof. They're not Fed proof at all, bruh. Being a criminal is so hard nowadays, bruh.